what do you want to know from the people that are watching this? What's something that you're curious about that you would like to have feedback from the people that are checking this out?
I'll ask this question to the younger professionals, those in your age bracket, maybe a little bit younger, because you're maybe 4 or 5 years behind me. So you're like mid 30s, approaching mid 30s. You're approaching that age where you wake up hurting for no reason. You know what I'm talking about?
I
But I'll
just
look
came
at
back
that.
from New Orleans, so I'm hurting for a very specific reason.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I want to hear from the people in your age bracket and maybe even a little bit younger, because this is something that I've had a conversation with quite a few people about. If you grew up in the era I did, because now they're calling my generation geriatric millennials. I was born in 1981. I knew I was on the cusp of between Gen X and millennials. I understand that. I prefer the Oregon Trail generation. I think that's the best one. But people
Jerry,
that have
I've never heard geriatric
it's a new
millennials, by
thing.
the way.
Geriatric millennials is a
Jesus
new thing.
Christ.
I'm like, I know I'm approaching 40, but seriously, don't call me old. I got nieces and nephews already calling me old.
Listen,
Granted, they're teenagers.
here's the thing. I need to say this. You're only old if you have more regrets than you have dreams. And you can take that to the bank.
I'm stealing that one. I'm writing that down and stealing it. But I want to talk to that particular group of people between like 30 and 39, pretty much. I want to hear from you guys, because we have seen some interesting things in our lifetimes. It's ranged from, if you were in my age group, the Challenger happening in your younger years, 9/11, the housing crisis, the Iraq war, a pandemic happening. We've seen so many things happen in a short span of time, and it's affected the world around us. And I feel like the folks ahead of us are kind of coming down on us with a whole bunch of stuff. And it's like, look, we didn't create these problems and they didn't come with a patent. Okay. So I want to hear from that group of people. I want to hear from those between 30 and 39, because odds are, if I'm talking to you right now, you're probably thinking about getting married. You're maybe thinking about buying a home. You're maybe thinking about having kids, and you're wondering how the hell you're going to pull it off, because for whatever reason, maybe you're not making enough money. Maybe you're still paying off student loans. Maybe you haven't been able to shake the whole thing of, maybe you had books on a credit card in college and you're still trying to pay it off because the interest rate shot through the roof.
1, 2, 3.
Right here too. Like I'm dealing with the same thing. I want to hear from you about how this most recent particular set of circumstances, how has it changed your world? Because I know how it's changed mine, and I know how it's changed my perspective. But my wife and I had the opportunity to start a family, and we've done that. But for those of you who want to do those things, what's holding you back, or what's been the thing that's kind of standing in the way? Because there are so many different factors. And I don't think people who are older than us, maybe our parents' generation or the generation before that, I don't think they remember back to when they were our age, because the stuff we're going through now, they were younger when they were dealing with stuff, because life moved at a much different pace back then. When you were my parents' age, you can get married in your late teens and have a job to share the rest of your life by your 20s. My dad had the same job from when he was like 19, 20 years old until the day he died. My mom did the same job for almost 30 years, and they got married in their late teens. Our generation could never pull that off in a million years. Things are just different. But my question to you is, how has the world in the last maybe 2 years reshaped how you feel about your career, about your life, and the things you want to do? Because I could sit here and tell you that I have the blueprint of how it can get better. I don't. A lot of it, seriously, was just circumstances change and maybe even a little bit of pure luck. But not everybody's in the same position I am. But what's holding you back from getting where you want to be? And what do you think needs to change for you to get there?